This is physical food, and today we're going to be doing an experiment called self-inflating balloons. It's an experiment that we found on education.com. It has to do with chemical reactions that will help a balloon inflate itself. Now, to do this experiment, you're going to need a test tube or some type of container that can hold a liquid. You're going to need vinegar, a balloon, a funnel, or in my case, since I don't have a funnel right now, a spoon, and baking soda. So, going into this, we're trying to figure out what happens when we mix an acid, vinegar, and a base, baking soda. So to start out our experiment, we want to make sure that the test tube is halfway filled with our acid, the vinegar. Go ahead and pour that in. And if you have a funnel, it might be useful to go ahead and use the funnel to pour in the liquid. And so now I have my containers halfway full of our acid, once again, vinegar. And then we're going to make sure that the balloon is really stretched out. To make sure that once we get this thing started, that it's going to have enough room to expand if it's going to inflate. So once you got your balloon stretched out, you want to go ahead and add your baking soda. Now if you have a funnel, then that would be best. If not, then we're going to make this work without the funnel. So I got 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And what you want to try to do is make sure that you don't get any baking powder on the outside of the balloon. I'm going to see if I can make this work. I'm going to stretch the top and then see if I can get this spoon to fit in the top. Here we go. And then I'm going to sew the rest of this spoon. Okay, got a little bit more to add. I'm going to go ahead and take this baking soda here and add some more. The funnel really helps because you can make sure that it's getting into the bottom of the bag without really touching the rest of the balloon. Alright, so I went ahead and got my baking powder in there. I'm going to wipe off like the rest of it. What you really want to do is try to get the baking soda out of the top of the balloon. So once you've gotten as much excess off as you can, if you've been using a funnel, then that's not going to be a problem. But once you've got as much excess of the baking powder off as you can, you want to attach the top of the balloon to the top of the test tube. And you want to do this without getting any of that baking powder into the test tube just yet. So the balloon top should provide a pretty tight seal on the top of your test tube or your container. So once you've gotten it attached, you want to go ahead and add your baking powder to the vinegar. And as you can see, the balloon is beginning to inflate itself. Mine seems just a wee bit heavy. It looks like I'm getting a lot of liquid in there, but it is inflating. The problem may be that I put too much liquid in my container, which is causing a heaviness in the balloon. This is our self-inflating balloon. So what's happening here is the vinegar, the acid, is creating a chemical reaction with the baking soda, a base. And so when those two substances mix, you get carbonic acid, in which this is an unstable mixture, and it decomposes to become carbon dioxide, and that's the gas that builds up your balloon. So have fun with the self-inflating balloons experiment from education.com.